The discourse around bodies is officially tired. The discourse around bodies is tired. Amazing. Look at this. This is how I'm just chilling around my house.
Hello YouTube, and welcome to the Body Honesty Project. My name is Lydia, and today we are making fat acceptance predictions for the year 2024 with a game that I am calling Gain, Lose, or Go. So the gain category is not only for fat activists that will be gaining weight. I'm talking about gaining in popularity, gaining in loudness, and gaining in size of ego. The lose category is reserved for fat activists that have changed their minds and are now on a weight loss journey, but are still maintaining their internet presence, meaning that their content will include their weight loss journey, and their message is going to change. And lastly, we have the go category. And the go category could mean go for many different reasons. When I say go, I mean go off the internet, which could mean that, hey, you've decided that you do want to lose weight, but you're not going to do it publicly. So you're going to go off the internet and live your own life. Or maybe you're having some health problems and you don't want to show that your size is actually impacting how you're able to live your life. And lastly, go could also mean death. I mean, when I say go for these people, I don't want to say that I think that they're going to die this year. No, that's not what I mean. I mean that their presence on the internet will be diminished. However, I'm not going to rule out death as a reason as to why it could be diminished. So, for today's game, I have picked 10 popular fat activists that I will make predictions of whether they will be a gain, a lose, or a go. Ready to play? Let's begin. First up, we have FatFabFeminist.
If you are thin, growing up in a fatphobic society, you're going to internalize fatphobic ideas. This is not saying that you have internalized fatphobia because to have internalized fatphobia, you have to be fat, but you internalize those ideas. Meaning, if you don't do the work to unlearn that, then you're just going to have these fatphobic ideas that are fundamental to you.
And for me, this one is an easy gain. I mean, she's had so much momentum after her New York City victory, and I don't see her going anywhere. I mean, she's just been getting louder and louder and louder. And sadly, her efforts have been rewarded. So I certainly don't think that this is the last that we're going to hear from FatFabFeminist. I can see her only getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I don't just mean in her size. I see her getting louder and louder and louder. And I also don't see this as her last bill that she's going to try to push. I think that this is just the beginning, and we're going to see a lot more of FatFabFeminist this year. So for me, she clearly is a gain. Next, we have Marissa Mathews.
For the millionth time, existing as a fat person is not promoting obesity. Loving your body and being confident about your body is also not promoting obesity. So off, bitch.
Now, as loud, obnoxious, and misguided as Marissa is, I also think that she's incredibly fragile. And I don't think that she can survive on the internet. Last year, she said that she took a break. But she really didn't take a break as much as she posted less. Because she used to post several times a day, and then it became a couple times a week. I mean, you can call that a break, but it really wasn't a break. But lately, she seems to be getting more and more unhinged. She'll do one really, really loud and obnoxious video, but then you'll also see her break down and start crying. I think that this is the year that Marissa either completely changes her content and only talks about clothes and doesn't really talk about fat acceptance, or she completely goes away from the internet. I don't see her being someone that's going to change and decide to lose weight, but I also don't think that she's going to be able to handle the pushback that comes with the territory of the content that she makes. So my prediction for Marissa in 2024 is she will go. Up next, we have FatSapphicBro.
Just a friendly reminder as we go into the new year and are bombarded by the diet industry, you do not need to lose weight. And there are ways that we can pursue our health goals this year that don't depend on a scale. Love you.
And FatSapphicBro has been losing weight lately. They have also started making content about reducing sugar and watching what they're eating, which is completely different than the content that they were making a while ago, when they'd say stuff like, if I want a sweet treat, I'll just have a sweet treat, and I'll just eat whatever I want whenever I want. This is a very, very different message. And if you look at the size of their face over their journey, you'll see that there was a wave of the face getting bigger, but then the face has been getting significantly smaller, and the message has also been changing. So, my prediction for FatSapphicBro in 2024 is that they will not only lose weight, but they will also change the message that they send on TikTok. Next up, we have HannahTalksBodies.
There are literally thousands and thousands of trolls who wake up every day and spew the exact same fat-phobic nonsense as you do. So not only are you not standing alone, you are in fact standing shoulder to shoulder in a vast sea of the worst kind of people.
And I know, this one is a little cheap, because Hannah hasn't really been doing much of anything in 2023. But the reason why I'm bringing up Hannah is not just because she hasn't been posting content, but because she doesn't look all that well. I mean, if you look at her earlier content, you can see her glowing face. Even though she's overweight, you can see that she's still in pretty good health. But then she went away for a while, and I'm sure that she dealt with some sort of complications. I don't know if they were mental, emotional, or I'm not going to diagnose her. I'm not going to get into her business. But I'm just saying that she looks remarkably different in 2023 than she did before. And she posted very, very, very little. And I think that this trend is going to continue. So for these reasons, I am putting Hannah in the go category. Next up, we have Tess Holiday.
I just want to know, in what world, in what freaking universe would a fat bitch like myself get on Mariah Carey's internet, on Beyonce's internet, and say, I have a restrictive eating disorder, and then have the entire world mock and ridicule you more than they already did? Because let's face it, living in a larger body is not fun.
And I'm going to be putting her in two different categories. One for the first half of the year, and another one for the second half of the year. And when I say half, it might actually be 2 months and 10 months, or 3 months and 9 months. I don't know. But I'm saying the first part versus the second part. And if I was making this video back in November, I'd actually be putting her in all 3 parts. Because back in November, she was getting extra loud about fat acceptance. And that started to continue into December. And she started to get even more and more diluted. But since the new year, her content has been changing. She's been talking about being on an anti-inflammatory diet. And I so want to do a video on that, and I probably will. But y'all have been telling me that I make way too much Tess Holiday content, so I'm going to dial back and do a couple of other things. And yes, I know she is in this one, but she's only in it a little. So, getting back as to why I'm putting Tess into 2 different categories. I believe that she is going to try to lose weight. She is going to try. She's going to try to do this anti-inflammatory diet. But I don't know if she can stick to it, because she doesn't have the lifestyle that will help her stick to it. I mean, maybe if she was still working as an active model, it would be more likely, because even on Ozempic, she wouldn't have as many times during the day in which she could eat. If she was still working as a very active model, she would only have certain breaks during the day, and if she was on Ozempic, well, she could only eat so much during those breaks. But since she's not working as a model anymore, she might be one of those people that very, very well do break Ozempic, or get to a point where it's not working well enough and decides to go off of it altogether. Now, of course, I don't know for certain if Tess is taking a weight loss drug. I'm just speculating here, because it just seems a little strange that she's now posting about being on an anti-inflammatory diet if she didn't have some measure of faith that she was actually going to lose weight. I don't know. That's just me. But as I said, I still don't think that she's going to be able to stick to it. I think that she's either going to be one of those case studies of people that gain weight on Ozempic or find a way to still eat more calories than they're supposed to, or she's not going to like how it feels and give up and just go back to her lifestyle. And if that happens, what does she have left? She's already admitted that her modeling career has been dwindling, and I don't see her being able to survive on the internet because her posts in late 2023 were starting to look really, really unhinged. So for that reason, I'm saying that Tess is going to be a lose for the first part of 2024, but will transition into a go. Up next, we have Lizzo.
The discourse around bodies is officially tired. The discourse around bodies is tired. Amazing. Look at this. This is how I'm just chilling around my house.
And Lizzo has been losing weight, and it's very, very obvious. I mean, at first it seemed like she was trying to say, oh, it's just the leggings, but now she's just being very obvious about it. She is losing weight. And Lizzo, unlike Tess, is someone that's going to be able to lose the weight. She already has an active as heck lifestyle. She actually doesn't have that much time to eat, and she already needs to exercise in order to do her stage show. So Lizzo was already leading a lot of the parts of a healthy lifestyle already. All she had to do was control her portions. And if she's taking a weight loss drug, that's going to help her control her portions. And I have all the faith that Lizzo is going to shrink right down. It's not like she has to introduce activity into her life. The only thing she had to do was reduce what she was eating. Now, the tricky part about Lizzo is that she's also going to have to change her branding. And I wasn't sure how she was going to do this. But in a twisted sort of way, I think that the lawsuit is a good thing for her. Because after this lawsuit, she doesn't even have to pretend. She can go, okay, whatever. I decided to lose weight for my health, and my dancers didn't agree. But I'm doing it, and look at how much better my health is. I wasn't fat shaming them. I just wanted the best for them. I saw what was wrong with how they were living their lives. I just wanted them to do what I'm doing. So, you see, I think that the lawsuit is really working in Lizzo's favor on how she can spin how she presents herself. Next up, we have JaeBae.
So you want to hear my hot take on plus size travel and why I think every plus size traveler should get a free second and even third seat on an airplane? Then you better keep watching and sign my petition to make some real change. Let's just state facts. Plus size travelers need more space. And many people agree that plane seats are too small, even for the average size person. As a plus size traveler myself, I know how uncomfortable and unsafe it can be to squeeze into a tiny airplane seat. We are not asking for special treatment or luxury accommodations. We simply want enough space to travel comfortably and safely without fear of being discriminated against because of our size.
And JaeBae, I'm also going to be putting in two different categories. One category for the beginning of the year and a different category for the rest of the year. Now, I find JaeBae a lot like FatFabFeminist, in the sense that her political cause is making her larger and larger on the internet, because her plus-size travel and plus-size mandates for plus-size travelers in hotels and restaurants, blah, 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 is garnering more and more and more attention. So, for this reason, I think that she's going to be a gain for the start of the year. She's getting louder, she's gaining momentum, more and more people are talking about her. But that's not the only thing that she's gaining. She is drastically gaining in size. And it's happening so quick. I mean, she should be so scared. There's a TikTok out there where she talks about, yeah, when I traveled as a 3X, I used to sit there. And when I traveled as a 4X, I used to sit there. But now that I'm a 5X, I have to sit here. And it's like, over how many years did you go from a 3X to a 4X to a 5X? And just so you know, those X's are like 100 pounds. It's not like in regular sized clothing where going from a 2 to a 4 to a 6 might span 20 pounds. No, those X's are a lot of pounds. So when she's growing from a 3 to a 4 to a 5, that's like several inches. So as much as JaeBae's cause is getting more and more loud on the internet, and I think that she will be a gain for the first part, I think that the quality of her health is going to deteriorate enough that's going to make her a go. Now we're on to CuteFatQueer.
Just woke up to like all of these ads about weight loss and weight loss drug. And then I was watching Sky News and they're talking about it too. The O word. That word was not chosen by fat people. It was chosen by the medical industry in order to pathologize us. There's nothing wrong with your body. Fat bodies are not wrong and should not be fixed. Welcome to my life. Do you think that I choose to be this way? Do you think that I love being fat? No, because of all the stigma and all the hate. If I didn't have that and I actually received love, imagine what my life would be. Maybe I'd actually be healthy.
And in my opinion, CuteFatQueer has to be the most fragile of the fat activists on TikTok. I mean, they want to come across as so strong with their harsh words and their harsh language and the, yeah, I said it kind of attitude. But they really, really look fragile. I mean, first of all, they take all of their videos lying down so that gravity can pull their face, and they use a lipstick filter on like every single video. I mean, I wear makeup. I have no problems with that. But to talk about body positivity and all of this confidence, and at the same time take every single measure that you can to present yourself in the best possible light, well, that's a little hypocritical. And you'll see that their content is mainly just a lot of meme type of stuff and graphics and them just making funny faces into the camera. It hasn't been as fierce as it was last year. So because of all of that, I'm putting CuteFatQueer in the go category. Now on to Splotch Maker.
Weight loss drugs, weight loss meds, weight loss surgeries, they all come with such devastating side effects that people don't emphasize because they want to make money. People are fear-mongered and preyed upon in this fat-phobic society and are not given the tools or the information about what they are doing. It is so horrible that this is happening, and it's all because of the society that we live in that prioritizes dieting and thinness and positions fatness at the bottom and thinness at the top. This is why we need to always challenge anti-fatness and why I come on here and continuously talk about it, because we need more representation. We need people to be informed when their doctors, when their friends, when their family members are not informing them and are just telling them and selling them lies about weight, about health care, about impending death and doom. It's horrible. We need to do better. Fat people have always existed, and they will always exist. So let's make life a little better for them here.
Now, Splotch Maker seems to be one of the few fat activists that have taken other people's weight loss extremely personally. And I don't think that she's handling all these other people taking Wegovy and Ozempic very well. Her message has not changed. She really, really does believe in fat acceptance, and she hasn't been welcoming at all, at least from what I've seen, of weight loss. But as her community is starting to change, I don't think that she's going to stick around. I think that she's going to distance herself from that community. Maybe she'll change her content and go back into fashion, which is what brought her there in the first place. But I don't see her being a loudmouth fat activist in 2024. So, for that reason, I'm putting Splotch Maker in the go category. And lastly, we have FatDoctorUK.
Modern Western society deliberately excludes fat people from the definition of health. For starters, over the last century, the term obesity has become more and more commonplace. Many folks, especially those who stand to profit, have been pushing the agenda to classify obesity as a disease. Now, to be clear, obesity is just a nasty way of saying fat. The literal translation is to eat so much that you become fat. By pathologizing fatness, we exclude all fat people from any definition of health, and that's a problem.
Now, FatDoctorUK, as of late, seems to be using her TikTok platform to create an encyclopedia of fat acceptance educational videos. I mean, every single topic lately seems to be like a 10-part video series, and they're all like 5 minutes. which makes covering Fat Doctor UK very difficult because I really don't want to watch them for 30 minutes. But as they're making so much content as of late, I don't see them going anywhere. And I also don't think that they're actually that big that their health is at risk at this point. I mean, something could change this year. But at this point, I don't think that Fat Doctor UK is going to be changing their message. They have made far too much content. They have doubled down on it way too much. And recently, they haven't even made a statement like, oh, you can do whatever you want with your body. Losing weight is fine. It's your body. Which is the way that a lot of the other fat activists are kind of transitioning away from the hardline fat activism. So I do think that Fat Doctor UK is going to be a gain and be a loud gain in 2024. So those are my fat acceptance predictions for 2024. Do you agree or disagree? I'd love to know down in the comments. And I know I've missed several other fat activists that I could have categorized. So if you'd like me to do another one of these videos, let me know down in the comments which fat activists you'd like me to make a prediction of in 2024 with the game Gain, Lose, or Go. So until next time, stay body positive, but also body honest.